everybody, it's me, Liv. So I recently bought this painter's tape online, and I found that after using it a few times, and you'll even see here, I want to show you, I'm just putting it down here and it's pulling up my paper, which is extremely aggravating for paper, for using any type of painter's tape on it. But I figured, you know what, I'm not going to throw this out. It's actually not bad quality. It's just no good as painter's tape. It's something I just found randomly online, so not like any particular name brand. It's about 2 inches wide, and I figured I'm going to go ahead and maybe create some washi tape out of this. So I'm going to use this as my color inspiration and pull out some of my Lindy Gangs to use. I'm using some of my old ones as well as some of my newer ones. Now this is the older style shaker bottles that you should see, and now the smallest ones are the newer style one. So the first one that I'm using is called Pass the Jam Jane. And then this purple one I'm going to use is Have a Scene Heather. And I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Again, if you use Lindy Gangs, you can either sprinkle on and then spray, or spray and then sprinkle. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do that. But I think it's really like how you like your colors to be, how bright you want them to stay, and probably your surface and how much you want the colors to spread. Because you see, if you spray like the way I did, they're going to spray more, possibly even dilute with each other more, which you may or may not want if you want really strong distinctions of colors there. So that's my only advice. I'm kind of, if you haven't figured out, someone who likes the messiness. I think it adds really cool dimension to things, and I don't worry too much about a lot of muddying happening. I have to say Lindy Gangs is pretty good about not creating too much muddiness. I felt like the purple wasn't bright enough, so I'm pulling out another purple from my stash to try to get it just a little bit of a deeper purple to come up. Now I realized I have a lot of water here, and I actually have a lot of liquid that's kind of left over. So I'm going to actually pull off 2 more pieces of this wannabe painter's tape and just kind of use it and dab it off. So it serves 2 purposes. It's dabbing off the excess for me, and I'm creating another one for me to use. And I think I could do one more of kind of tapping this down, pulling it up, pulling some of the different liquids here, and getting some colors. Now, depending on how you do this, sometimes it will come out just as light. I actually wanted to just quickly get onto this project, so I did kind of pat it down using my heat gun to dry it off a little bit. And then once I have it all dry, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, I got all these new things from aallandcreate, and I'm using some of the stencils. I'm going to be using just some VersaClear ink here. This one is in that kind of really magenta-y kind of color that comes out from my inspiration page. I don't like to mix my brushes that I use with my distress products with my other inks, so you'll see I'm using a slightly different tool, but all you're doing is kind of patting down, rubbing it in, and I'm going to go ahead and get that spread all over my project here. Now you may be wondering, is there any particular rhyme or reason of how I do this? There really isn't. I just kind of go in and put in, the different stampings, the different stenciling all throughout, just trying to create some variety in the looks. So I'll put it at different points. Some have more of the stenciling, some have less. Again, nothing in particular that I'm doing to try to follow any format. But once I have it all down, then I'm going to actually go in and get my stamps out. So this is one of the stamp sets that I also got from my recent Black Friday shopping over at aallandcreate. And I am just going to go ahead and use the black VersaClear ink. Sometimes I will use my stamping blocks. Sometimes I won't. Guess it really just depends on what mood am I. I wasn't sure what drawer they were in right now because I am again moving my things around after my Christmas mess. So I figured I'm just going to go ahead and, stamp using just kind of my press tool that I created that is just a candle top lid that I decorated with glitter and use to press down on my Misty whenever I feel like I'm not getting the good application, especially when I'm using a clear stamp. I don't know about you, but I find clear stamps I usually have to fuss with a little bit more than my red rubber stamps in terms of getting even coverage. So again, no rhyme or reason, just stamping different places, different parts of the stamp into the tape. Now, create stamps in like all sizes, so they have small ones all the way up to these full big ones. And so I don't always buy the full big ones because sometimes I find it hard to use them when I don't really have a lot of large surface to work with. But I really do like the fact that they have a lot of different imagery on here. So sometimes I'll just stamp up parts of it and go ahead stamp along, and it gives it just a whole nother level of effect. So I'm just going to keep stamping the different parts here. And then once all that is set, I want to actually, I'm looking at these papers as I'm doing this, and I'm realizing I didn't really pull in the green that I was hoping to pull in. Oh, and if you want to know which one this is called Pencil Flower. So I'm actually going to manually pull in a little bit of that green. I'm taking my Distress Oxide inks, patting it into the surface just to bring out some points of green like you see on the master paper that I'm using for inspiration. I'm pulling both a lighter green that I'm just tapping in at different points, and I'm also going to pull in my darker green as well. It's just to kind of, make sure it kind of correlates with what I was looking at to use before. So now that I have that all lined out and tapped in, I think I'm just going to finish off with my favorite thing to do, which is just add some splatters onto this. So just using my white one, I'm going to go ahead and splatter all throughout this project. When I do splatters, I will need to leave this to sit for the night to dry out. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. How do you think I did matching it to the master paper? And if you want to give this a try, you could try painter's tape. I've tried it with Scotch tape, or really anything else you want. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.